Command 45. Had a special request from a dear friend, Texan, God bless Texas. He had me on the lookout for a 72 Cody Scout, Great Eastern Cutlery, Northfield, unexcelled. So I know I've done one of these before with my very well used and very well teenered up. So I thought it'd be cool to show a brand new, pretty much mint out of the tube in comparison. All right. So I went to GE's site and looked up a few specifics on this one. Really nothing groundbreaking, but so there were 535 made of these in 2023. 535. That's the same number of U.S. representatives we have, right? Maybe including the 100 senators. All right, 535 total. The early designs were in 2012, and those featured fat spear points, and those models were called mini lockback hunters. It's kind of like a mini hunter. The folding hunter we're all used to, like the Buck 110, and I'm also going to compare it against the Buck 110. All right, so let's see, we've got some packing material. We've got the pin, pretty rad. I made him a bead if he wants it. I know he doesn't really care about fingerprints or whatever, but I just wanted to be super careful with this thing. I'm gonna get my dog running around the woods with me. But you can see, so the unexcelled line is mirror polished. Just an absolute beauty. No lock rock, maybe a tiny bit of movement, but it's almost imperceptible. Only us neurotic, crazy knife enthusiasts who seem to over fetishize this collection that we do would notice. But this thing is a stunner. It is a banger. It is just fire. So beautiful. So amazing. All right, so let's look at it with, let's see if we can get some more light. I'm in the woods. Let's do this. Let's a camcorder. Let's see if this helps us at all. Obviously the blade, much different. Definitely don't want to drop this. Yeah, I mean, mine's a little bit more beat up, but the color actually stayed fairly well. Maybe it lightened up a little bit on the back. The front's pretty close though. But definitely my mirror polish is starting to come off a little bit. And that could have just been the initial dye job too. I'm gonna go back to it. Alright. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so again, mine on the right, it's about 2 years old. Definitely, this is one of my most carried knives. I think it's pretty much the perfect, as far as like a lockback, I think it's a perfect, probably the best out there knife. And I'm going to show this next to the 110 as well in a sec. There you go. Yeah, so you don't really, I don't think you usually see kind of like a well-used versus a brand new guy, especially not for this. It's a pretty popular model. A lot of guys like the 83, which is a slightly smaller. I don't think it's as like drastic as like a case, you know, whatever knife, like a case trapper versus like a mini trapper. I think that's a pretty huge difference. The overall on this is 3 3/4, and I think the 83 is like, I don't know, 3.5 or something. I think it's only, you know, a 1/2 inch difference. It's not much, and you know, the rest of it's scaled down. But yep, there you go. This thing is just, man, what can you say? For whatever reason, I love it. The bullet shield, unexcelled, long pull, lanyard tube, which I think is superior than not having one, like the case copper lock. You know, bottom lock, like the 110 and others. Yep. All right. So let's put that guy away. And we'll get that out in the mail as soon as time allows. All right, so this is the 110, the venerable folding hunter of the modern era. When was this invented? Like 64. So an awesome knife. You know, the problem is, if there is a problem, it's big. It's a big knife. It's not the greatest for in the pocket, so you really got to carry it with a belt sheath, which isn't an issue, you know, obviously. But as far as like 2025 going, you know, into 2026, I think something like this, you know, you're using it every day. It's a lot easier to throw in the pocket, or throw in a slip, throw in the pocket, or whatever, and just really get, for me, a lot of use out of it. I have an extra large hand. It fills up my hand fine. You know, we're not, we don't live in a society anymore that we're cutting every single thing. You know, we've got knives and knives and knives. Everything's disposable. You've got tons of kitchen knives, whatever. So, you know, a lot of our meat is, you know, even if you're a hunter, you're still eating a lot of packaged meat, you know, that's already mainly processed. So our knives aren't really getting the use that we used to get out of them. And I really, you know, 99.9% of the population is not hunting game year-round. So I think this is really the best, as far as a lockback folding knife, that there is. I love the 110. Actually, my buddy who's getting the new 72 sent me this 110. It was the first 110 I ever got. I love it. It's nostalgic. It's, you know, built like a tank. It'll last, you know, a long, long time. But again, I just, you know, not to ramble too much, I get a lot more use on day-to-day with the 72. For me, it's superior to the copper lock because it's a little bit smaller. So it's, the copper lock is borderline too big for a pocket carry, I think. You've got to use in my opinion, a slip. This, you don't really have to, but still, yeah, you do need a slip. But I don't know, I like being able to choke up a little bit more, whereas the copper lock has that copper head bolster, which stops you from doing that. So again, it's an awesome design. I wish it was just like available all the time, you know, kind of like any of Case's knives, because again, these are never perfect. I don't know what GEC's problem is with the lockback design. They seem to not be able to get it 100% all the time. You know, and it's just 1095 steel. Because I would buy multiples of every cover. Do you know what I mean? And I would, you know, I'd be gifting them. I don't know. I just wish these were more available. But in any event, this is probably my favorite GEC. I carry it all the time. It's beautiful. It's badass. It's tough. I don't know, what else can I say about it? I guess this is all I can say. GEC Cody Scout 72. Let's go. All right. Walking Man 45. God bless Texas. Out.